Hey, welcome to another album review, and today I have Fred again with Actual Life 2. And yeah, I mean, look, after Actual Life 1, I just had to do the second one, and there's one more that I'll probably cover later because I just enjoyed the first one so much. And this one was honestly no different. First of all, I actually really enjoy the fact that a lot of these albums are more sort of a diary type thing. It's more like you're peering into someone's personal life that are essentially being told through the music rather than just being music on its own. So basically, the music sort of serves as a message for the feelings and the experiences that someone is going through, which I heavily appreciate because I find that to be much more relatable than a lot of the music that is just, I guess, music. Nothing that there's, it's nothing wrong with just music, but I do appreciate when music can be so emotional. I think that's one of the strong points of Fred again. I think he makes a lot of these stuff very emotional. A lot of his music is very emotional and it's very relatable and accessible, right? It sort of feels like in a bit of a diary highlight of what his life is and the experiences he goes through. Especially this is really helped by a lot of the things he samples, because he usually samples quotes from other songs or quotes from people in general, and I think that really helps sell this idea that it's his life and his feelings that he goes through, that is something more than just a song that you're listening to, especially because a lot of the quotes aren't necessarily specifically made to be sung type thing, like in a lot of EDM tracks, but they're more specifically made in a way to simply just give more context to the song and give more weight to it, even, give more context to it and everything, right? So as a whole, I love the first album and I love this one even more. This one seemed to be a bit more consistent to me. Personally, I really loved how a lot of the songs were more toned down. They gave far more chill vibes. Definitely, I felt like they weren't as personal as the first album. I think Actual Life 1, a lot of the songs were far more personal than in this album. With that being said, I think that the personal things aside, the second album, it's not that the second album isn't personal, it is, but it does feel more chill, more toned down, more chilled in a way, from a lot of it's not as exposed. It doesn't feel as exposed, it's more in a way it's more intimate, but it doesn't feel as exposed, if that makes sense, right? Overall, it's a pure vibe. A lot of the songs are very toned down. It's very like chill, and I really love that. I think that especially that way of conducting a lot of the songs and mixing these chill but emotional song characteristics is very good, and I think it does a very good job at just engaging people to the songs. It's very emotional, it's very relatable. I can understand why Fred again got so popular so fast. First of all, you don't see a lot of artists really doing what he does. I would argue that you don't see any artist doing what he does, at least not to this extent. Again, like a lot of other EDM songs and EDM artists will sample quotes and stuff like that from other people and movies or songs or whatever, but none does it so well as Fred again, because when he quotes something for a song, he makes it part of the song. He makes it the song almost, right? He makes it as if he's almost having a duet with a song, or with a quote rather, in the song, or he makes it as another person in the song or something else in the song that gives everything more depth. It gives everything, it makes everything feel more full, everything feel more completed in a way, and I really enjoy that. And on top of that, just the chill vibes, like I think that oftentimes one of the problems that I see in EDM a lot is people can like get these great quotes and make like a song that is really catchy, but the song doesn't feel like it benefits from the quotes, right? Especially when it comes to more, I guess, hardcore subgenres, stuff, especially that's starting to push the art style, hardcore, Frenchcore, stuff of the sorts. I've heard, people use quotes there, and even in other house songs, like I hear people all the time use quotes, but it just feels like it's a cool setup for like a catchy song or a catchy hook or a catchy drop or something like that, while Fred Again makes it feel like it's just part of the song, like it always belonged to the song, right? It feels like, for example, Aoi sampled in his album In Loving Arms, right? It makes it feel like that was already another song, but it made it feel like that quote was made for this specific song, right? The song that he made, even though that's part of another song. And I think that he does that so much with a lot of the songs in these albums. Which, and I mean, they also heavily benefit from the fact that a lot of these quotes are from his friends and stuff like that, so it's not like everyone has access to them or whatever, which make them, again, feel much more personal and much more intimate than, you know, a lot of other EDM artists. What he's doing is definitely unique, and I can see why people love it so much, and on top of that, the songs are really catchy, because that's the thing, like, this is not the type of pretentious project that is like, oh, I'm so deep, you know, because I'm doing, no, it's just like, it's deep, but it's also incredibly catchy. Like the songs, again, I was vibing a lot with the songs. The songs are very catchy, you know, like if you like Owls, it's so good, you know, like the songs are very, very good. They're very catchy. And even the interludes, for example, you know, like I usually don't like the interludes. But here with Fred Again, they feel endearing, you know, they feel part of his diary that he's creating in his albums, as I've talked about, right? His albums feel like a diary, and his interludes just feel part of that, just feel part of those highlights, right? It makes everything and creates sort of this atmosphere, this narrative of you peering into someone's life and feelings through the music they create, right? And these interludes just help give more, you know, depthness to the entire album and the entire experience, make everything feel way more complete and make everything feel like it definitely belongs, right? And that's something that, again, I don't see a lot of other albums doing. Now, then is the album. Something that Fred does as well is he makes like live sessions of it, I guess. So you have a live version called Studio Live 2, I think. He had Studio Live 1 for the first album, for Actual Live 1, and now he made this one for the second one. And he also has Piano Live, I think it's called, which in this case would be 2 because it's for the second album. And those are really good. The piano, I think, is just even more chill. Like a lot of the songs really do lend themselves very well to the piano. The Studio Live 2, which is like the, you know, I guess live version of the album, is really good. Like, I don't mean it's live in front of a crowd. It's not in front of a crowd. It's just recorded, but he just plays everything sort of back to back, and it's really good because the vibes. So the entire album already gives you sort of this, you know, vibe sort of feeling. Here it's back to back to back to back, right? Every song that transitions between each other, it feels like they are really smooth. It feels like it's basically highlighting what the best of the album is. Like, it's just a great compilation of every single song the album has. In a way, yes, it does not feel as perhaps personal or intimate because you don't have a lot of the interludes, at least not in between the songs. Everything just flows much better, however, and when everything flows, you get into this state that just feels good to listen to his stuff. And again, I think it's easy to understand, especially the Actual Live 1 or the Studio Live 1 from Actual Live 1. That one was the one that I got introduced to when it came to those Studio Live things. And that one was just so good back to back, and you know, this one is the same thing. You kind of like get into the zone and you end up feeling all of the songs, and just create sort of this beautiful sort of moment that permeates just the vibes that you have, and it just continues throughout the entire album, right? It's sort of like you start listening to it, you get in the zone, and then it ends and you're like, oh, it ended, okay, you know, like it's very cleansing, you know. I think it's very pure in that regard, right? It showers you with basically very good vibes, and personally I prefer Studio Live 1 because I think that one is really like very, very good, but I think this one was nice as well. As far as the actual album goes, the actual Life 2 album goes, I gotta say, my vibe meter is telling me like a 9 out of 10, a very strong 9 out of 10. I fucking love this album. I love almost every single song in it. I don't think there's a single song I didn't like, right? I liked every single song. I definitely have my favorites, but I liked every single song, and it's so chill, it's so toned down, and it's amazing to just put and relax, I would say. So yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.